Had a little incident with Drewski being on Castanet show and them being like transphobic to a non.
Okay, I have thoughts. And I want to preface this by saying, hi, I am a black trans woman, by the way. I'm a black trans woman, so let's get that out the air first. We have to talk about the influence of the trans and femme queen aesthetic and the influence it has on mainstream media and this heteronormative society today. So I want to preface this by saying that the history of trans women getting these hyper feminine surgeries done to their bodies was made out of a mode of survival. Back in the 90s and even to this day, trans women weren't able to get jobs. They weren't able to get jobs because of transphobia. So with that being said, trans women had to resort to sex work. Now, within being a sex worker, you kind of had to appease to the ideals of hypersexuality in the eyes of cis men. On top of that, trans women also had to get these surgeries in order to survive in the streets because they had to appear as a real woman. If you were clocked as a trans woman back in the 90s, and even to this day, you were either harassed, beaten up, imprisoned, or worse, killed. And this goes for all trans identities, no matter if you're non-binary, no matter if you're trans mass, no matter if you're trans femme. So being that trans women had to adapt to the ideologies of looking like a real woman and also adapting to the ideologies of hypersexuality because of cis men, we now have these surgical augmentations such as BBLs, lipo, facial feminization, breast augmentations. And in this day and age, we label it as gender affirming care because it has turned into gender affirming care. But being that the hypersexual, hyperfeminine standard has literally been created by cis men, that has then leaked into mainstream media. For example, look at all these fucking celebrities. And being that these celebrities, for example, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Saweetie, JT, City Girls, etc., 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 being that these celebrities are the standard, cis women are going to follow the standard. And it's crazy because a lot of cis women's defenses about why trans women aren't women is because, oh, you can't have kids. Well, the only reason why you think so is because a cis man told you that. Cis men have gave you the standard and told you that what it means to be a woman is your ability to have children. That standard exists because of cis men. But when we trans women point out that cis women or the mainstream society is influenced by us, because if you think about it, the mainstream media, everything in the mainstream media is influenced by everything queer and everything black. If you really think about it, for real, tell me I'm lying. These are the standards that y'all chase for yourselves because y'all don't know how to be yourselves. So now we have an influx of women, cis women, getting these surgical alterations done to their bodies so they can feel whole and complete. So now everyone is experiencing gender dysphoria? We can't have shit. But hey, that's all I gotta say. Do what you want.